Last episode, I know I said I was a combination of Molly and Tiffany. Well, now Molly, you're gonna have to square the fuck up because you're making us look bad, bitch. Welcome back to another episode review of Insecure Season 2, Episode 8. This is the finale. No, I don't want this show to go away yet, but on the good side, HBO did give us 45 minutes for this episode, but on the downside, you could add in an extra 15 minutes and give us a whole hour plus an extra 4 episodes. You could give us like even 10 episodes, but they gotta be an hour long. No more of this 45-minute bullshit. Okay? Thank you. No, I don't want this show to go away yet, but on the good side, HBO did give us 45 minutes for this episode, but on the downside, you could add in an extra 15 minutes and give us a whole hour plus an extra 4 episodes. You could give us like even 10 episodes, but they gotta be an hour long. No more of this 45-minute bullshit. Okay? Thank you. So as the episode opens, Issa is walking down her neighborhood. I'm assuming it's in Inglewood, California. And it's pretty much gentrified. Like it's the Old Testament that like a lot of these inner cities are now being gentrified, where we, the minorities, the low income people, we are being pushed the fuck out by white people with money. And it is what it is. It's capitalism, it's life. It's not cool, but it is what the fuck it is. Let me just say that the music in this episode was on fucking point. Like, I recognize so many of the songs throughout the season, and like me and Issa, like that's my spirit animal. Like, we have the exact same taste in music and I love it. Like this gentrification scene, the song playing was Tyler the Creator, Boredom. Fucking love that song. Everything in this episode was genius. The cinematography was on point, just the way that they fucking filmed everything. I don't know the technical terms, I don't know, but it was very beautiful. A lot of the camera angles, like when Lawrence and Issa were both walking up to the apartment, like the way the camera followed them, that one long continuous shot of their back, like that was so, that just built up so much suspense. And it was just very creative how they did that. This episode was pretty much, for all the characters, it was about them either looking forward into the future as well as having to embrace shit that happened in the past. While she is walking through this gentrified neighborhood, her hoodie says niggas on it on the pocket as she was talking to the white lady about some type of yogurt shop or whatever the fuck that's about to open in the neighborhood. I know the white lady saw that. Like, it said niggas right there on the pocket. Like, how you didn't see that? The next shot, the screen popped up with 30 Days of Lawrence. So, we're assuming that they're gonna give all of the main characters, Lawrence, Issa, and Molly, a quick 30-day snapshot into their life. As soon as I saw 30 Days with Lawrence, I was like, ew, why? I don't need 30 days with Lawrence. Look, okay, Lawrence is that ex-boyfriend that's starting to wear out his welcome. Okay, if he and Issa are not gonna get back together, I don't see the point in him being on the show anymore, especially the way that he disrespected my best friend in the last episode. No sir, no man, that is not what the fuck you're gonna do. Issa is a fucking gem. You will respect Queen Issa, okay? Anyway, we see 30 Days of Lawrence, and it starts with him running a marathon with his co-workers. He looks over and he sees Issa and Molly, and at first I'm like, is this a dream? Is he imagining them? But later on, we find out that that was not a dream. They really were all at the same race, but only Lawrence saw Issa and Molly, but they didn't see him. Back at his new apartment that he finally has, he and a partner are chilling, making out. They start to have sex in the kitchen. I don't give a fuck about them or that. Then they're out to dinner. They're talking about a coworker that a partner had sex with that still works there, and it's revealed that she slept with this coworker multiple times. So this is starting to make Lawrence really insecure. See what I did there? It's starting to make Lawrence really insecure about dating someone who sleeps with someone else in the office. Like, yeah, I get it, you had a past, but I don't need to see the motherfucker every day that you slept with. And then Aparna seems kind of messy because the last episode she was also running around telling people in the office that her and Lawrence were chilling. Do they all know that she also slept with Colin multiple times? And it's like now they know that she and Lawrence are kicking it? Like, Aparna, you kind of making yourself out to be the office hoe, girl. You're doing that on your own. Also, while they're out to dinner, Lawrence looks over and sees Molly. Molly really was there. Molly also winds up seeing Lawrence in her 30-day storyline. Back at Lawrence's house, Chad and Derek are there and they're talking about that slave show that they watch, Due North. And Derek mentions that Tiffany went over to Issa's house to watch it. That's some bullshit, because Tiffany never showed the fuck up. More about that later. Chad mentions he has a fiance. I actually want to see a little bit more of Chad next season. I kind of want to see a little bit more of Chad than I do Lawrence, because that will kind of demote Lawrence a little bit. And like I said, I don't care about his character no more if he and Issa aren't together. Chad is like, oh, how's your new chick, Jasmine? Pause. That was shade. Aparna is like of Middle Eastern descent, I'm assuming. Maybe Jasmine was in reference to the movie Aladdin. You know, his girl was Jasmine. They were Middle Eastern as well. You low-key racist for that, Chad. But they're all pretty much saying, he's talking about how Aparna slept with the dude Chad from work, and they were all like, you know, females don't need males as friends. That's just extra dick laying around, which he's not wrong. Males and females, unless it's 1000% platonic, or unless you're like friends with a dude that's like nowhere near your type, most likely that dude is only your friend because he's waiting on you to slip up and fuck him one day. He and Aparna are in the car and she's smiling down at her phone, and he's assuming that she's laughing at a conversation that she and Colin are having, and this just further fuels his insecurity and his jealousy. And Aparna's like, nah girl, we not about to do this. Let me out of this car. Issa starts calling Lawrence's phone, and she's definitely like, hell no, let me the fuck out of this car. So I think that Lawrence's insecurity is messing with his relationship with Aparna, which granted, Issa cheated on him, but at the same time, I don't know. If you think Lawrence was justified in acting the way he acted, then go ahead and comment below. But I think he's just doing a little bit too much, and he's not ready to date again. As much as he thinks he is, he's fucking not. And he's probably about to mess this up with Aparna, but I'm talking fast about his segment because I really don't give a fuck about him and her. Like, I like Aparna, but like, I just don't care about anyone that Lawrence is pursuing a relationship with, because I just don't care about Lawrence anymore. Sorry. After Issa calls Lawrence and he answers the phone, then the very next shot is him walking into her apartment, and it's this long continuous shot of his back, and it was a really dope shot. The song playing, Supply Love, that's my shit. He's walking up to the house and he just walks on in. What I noticed is that he did not ring the doorbell, but we will find out why he didn't ring the doorbell later in Issa's story. Molly's storyline starts at the same race that Lawrence's storyline started at. Lawrence did not imagine Issa and Molly there at the race. They actually were there. They're supporting Kelly. She's training for the marathon, and they were like, we didn't even know Kelly was training for the marathon. Well, she clearly wasn't. You're her best friends, and if you didn't know, then she really wasn't training for the marathon, which she wound up she texted them and she was like, meet me at the finish line, and she said because her period started, which her period probably did start. But Kelly, if nobody knew you were training for the marathon, then you most likely weren't really fucking training for it. But good on you for even, you know, signing up and participating, because that couldn't have been fucking me. Fuck long distance. I'm a sprinter. I'm black. Molly is in an interview with the new law firm. It appears to be an all-black law firm because all the people she's interviewing with are black. She is in LA because they started talking about LA stuff. They say that she looks good on paper and that they're really impressed with her. Molly, again, go where you are celebrated and not tolerated. So she's out to dinner with Quentin. They vibing. They have a really good chemistry. She looks over, she sees Lawrence, and she was like, oh, you know, that's somebody I used to know. And then Quentin, smooth ass, takes it as an opportunity to say, you know, you're the most beautiful woman in here. Of course, guys are looking at you. See, that right there would have got him the draws, because he knew how to flip that shit and make me feel good. Molly and Quentin do wind up having sex while they're like at work or studying or something like that. and it was just kind of just really came out of nowhere. Like, we knew it was building up to it, but I didn't know it would be right then and there, because they were literally in the middle of talking, and then she takes the glass out of his hand, puts it down, and gets on top of him, undresses him and her, and she proceeds to ride his dick. And you know, hey Molly, do you. Anything to get your mind off of Drew, right? So then she's in therapy, and she's like, he's a nice guy, but he just doesn't seem like the type of guy that I should be with. And then the therapist is like, girl, here you go with that should, would, could. She said, live in the could and not in the should. And at the end of Molly's therapy session, the therapist was asking, should we schedule your next appointment? At the same time that Dro was texting her that he missed her. Oh, nah, bitch. Why isn't Dro's number blocked? When you tell somebody you're officially done with them, when you're 100% done with somebody, block their fucking number. Dead ass, because that's the easiest way for them to try to sneak back in. From personal fucking experience, block them fucking numbers so you don't get back in your feelings again. So then all the girls minus Tiffany are at Issa's house. They're all watching Due North, and then they're talking, and Kelly's like, you gonna stay with the whites or you gonna go with the blacks? And then Molly was like, I'm not even sure. And then Kelly was like, well, when you work with black people, they get all comfortable, they start to get in your business. I mean, if you're in a majority white workplace, you do kind of tend to gravitate to other black people. I know I do. I'm damn near still good friends with every black person I work with to this day. We gotta stick the fuck together, okay? And then she was also saying, when you work with white people, on the other hand, you have to be comfortable. You have to explain your outfits and your hair changes to them, and you just have to just make sure that you're not too black for them so that they can accept you. Yeah, fuck that. And all Issa has to say is, well, you could be a lawyer anywhere, girl, so just follow the money. I mean, at this point, Molly pretty much has no choice, because then at the job, the big bosses are pretty much saying like, girl, we don't want to lose you. You know, you're very special to this firm. So they give this bitch a certificate. I wouldn't even call it a certificate, because they probably had one of their secretaries write that shit up from a Word document and put a gold star on it, and they called it the Rising Star Award. It was just one piece of paper, and they say, oh, here's your certificate, and then you're gonna be featured on our website. Bitch, run me my money. If you appreciate me, then promote me. Don't pay this white boy Travis that's doing less and getting paid more. Molly, you know what to do. Issa's also at the marathon, so now they are all walking to the finish line to meet Kelly, and we find out that Tiffany's pregnant. As soon as they tried to slide that in there, I was like, oh, I see you trying to set it up for season 3. It's gonna be some mess with Tiffany's pregnancy. Okay, it's just gonna be some fucking mess, because when they were watching Due North and Derek said that Tiffany was over Issa's house, Tiffany was not there. Tiffany was texting them, calling them, trying to get details on what was happening in the show. Now, Tiffany, if you're at home being pregnant, you would know what's going on. You wouldn't have to call them and get, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to text them and get details about what's going on. So, girl, I don't know what the hell that was about, but Tiffany's all like being judgmental. Ooh, look at Kelly running marathons. Look at Molly taking interviews, and Issa's like, I'm moving. So this is when we find out that because of the rent increase from last week's episode, now Issa has decided to move. And we got y'all, I don't care about this scene. I don't care about her job anymore. Frida got promoted to something, and Issa is in hot water because she had the Latino students from the high school that were being discriminated against by Vice Principal Gaines. She had them all there to do her own little study session. And then the boss is like, you're doing segregated study sessions? What the fuck is this? And it was at that moment that I realized that she had never said anything to anyone about the situation at the school. Had she went to her boss when the shit popped off, like Frida told her to, her ass wouldn't be in hot water right now with her boss. She probably gonna get fired. She ain't making no money no way, so that would actually be a blessing to her. Her boss is saying that this could be a possible lawsuit because you're segregating the Latino students. It's just a whole mess. Issa had good intentions, but she should have let somebody know the situation from the first place, and then she wouldn't have to sneak around trying to help these students. So Kelly, Issa, and Molly, we cut back to them at Issa's house watching Due North, and Issa was like, you know, come help me pack. And then Kelly was like, have you talked to the girl that I referred to you as a roommate? And Issa was like, I just want to live alone. And Kelly was like, you ain't got no money. And she came at her like that. And it's like, okay, well, if she ain't got no money, bitch, then invite her to live with you. Like, why you coming at her like that? If you know she's poor, then help the bitch out. You know, Kelly's this accountant, Molly's this lawyer, Tiffany, I don't know what the fuck she does, but this bitch acts bougie as fuck. So she better be accomplished as bougie as she acts. Issa is having a yard sale. Thug Yoda and his daughter come by to buy the brock pot. Thug Yoda says that he needs this brock pot because his daughter's favorite food is cauliflower soup. And I was like, what? Oh, cauliflower soup. Issa's couch is out there, and Lumpy Weirdhead, neighbor babe, he comes by with some female and he's like, you know, how much for this couch? And then Issa is looking at the couch, and I don't think she really wants to sell the couch. I don't think she should, because that's her and Lawrence's couch that they shared together in their apartment. So then she goes and calls Lawrence about the couch, and then she's like, you know, you could come get it. I won't be here on this day from this time and this time, so just come by then to get it. Just do what you gotta do. Fast forward a few days, I guess she is walking into her apartment. I'm assuming this is after Lawrence was supposed to come get the couch. And and she is walking into the apartment with that same camera angle on her back that Lawrence had, which was a dope ass angle. As soon as she walks into the apartment, Lawrence is there. He asks, what happened to the ceiling? You know, why is there smoke? And then they start to sit down and talk about how they were not what each other expected as a partner. And they both admitted that they loved each other still to this day, that they still are in love with each other. And then I was just like, oh my God, don't have sex, don't have sex, don't have sex, please don't have sex. And they didn't have sex. Whew. So then Lawrence gets ready to leave, and he's standing outside of the front door, and then he gets down on one knee and he proposes to her. And I was like, of course that was a dream. She dreamed them, you know, getting married, having a baby, you know, living together, still in that same raggedy ass apartment. Okay. And of course, it's a damn dream. Thank God. What really happened was they both just, that was when they both admitted that they still loved each other. And then Lawrence said bye, Issa. Of course, that's not gonna be the end of them, because if they were both able to still admit that they love each other, it's only a matter of time before they get back together. But please, can we just hold off on seeing Lawrence until he and Issa get back together? I don't give a shit about single Lawrence. Issa and Molly are at Molly's house, and remember earlier in the season, Molly was talking about going to Morocco. Well, she brought Morocco to Issa because that's the type of friend she is. It was so sweet. So they're both dressed in, you know, Moroccan garments, and they just look really, really beautiful. And Molly has some type of liquor, and she says something about too many bottles of this wine we can't pronounce. And I finally fucking caught it. It was maybe like someone else I watched or somebody on Twitter said that there's a Frank Ocean reference in every single episode. And I was like, what? I haven't caught it. But yeah, just now I caught it. That's from that line, too many bottles of this wine we can't pronounce. That's from one of his songs from Channel Orange. Yo! Now I gotta go back and rewatch it, because I'm pretty sure that I can find the reference in every single episode. Molly was asking Issa, you know, are you sure you don't want to move in with me? And Issa was like, nah, girl, I love you too much to move in with you. Well, at that point, Issa, you need to move back in with your moms. Okay, wherever your parents are, go live with Molly's parents, all right? Go live with some damn body, because you can't cut it on your own. Issa gets a friend request from Lawrence as she's in a cab heading somewhere, and we find out that she's going to Daniel's house, and she was like, I'm gonna live on the couch. Daniel, of all people, why? You're just purposely doing dumb shit. Molly's just purposely also doing dumb shit. Molly is also trying on lingerie and assuming it's for Quentin. We get a fucking knock on the door, and it's King Dro. Molly, girl, I can't save you from yourself. Bye, Molly. I can't. Molly, just keep making these bad decisions, keep making us look bad, get your feelings hurt, because when Dro tells you that he's not in an open marriage, you gonna be looking stupid. Matter of fact, Molly, just square up. Square up, Molly. Cause we not doing this no more. You don't wanna listen to anybody but your vagina. You can get dick anywhere. You can get dick from anybody. So at the very end of the episode, if you have the HBO app, there was like a little 5-minute episode of the show that they've been watching all season. It's the dude from Scandal and Regina Hall, and it's kind of like a slave show parody with like different twists and turns. I would say they were like trying to parody Underground a little bit, and the shit was pretty funny, and if it was a real show, I'd probably watch it. I wonder what they're gonna do with that. They should, because they had this whole 5-minute clip of all the little clips we've seen of them watching on the TV this whole season. So fucking clever. Who would have thought of that? They actually put it together at the end of the episode, so maybe they'll expand on that in season 3 and something, I don't know, but Issa's a damn genius, so we'll see what happens for season 3. So unfortunately, season 2 has come to an end. I also will be making a video of the top 10 what the fuck moments of season 2, so check the description box for that. Thanks so much for joining me for all these short ass episodes of season 2. I really hope that season 3 comes sooner than next summer, and we also get longer episodes and more episodes. Am I asking for too much? I don't think so. Insecure is a fucking hit. HBO, get that money, okay? I will see you next season. Bye.